I love this song. I will be good to you. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to the Psy Tell Us TV show. Today, the Psy Tell Us TV show is debuting the Psy Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show with my co-hosts Cameron Maxwell and Landon Rodriguez. Yay! This is going to be so exciting. Let me read this because I typed this up for them and I want to be totally clear so you guys can get a total understanding of what this show is going to be about. Today, January 28th, 2020, Psy Tell Us debuts the Psy Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show with co-hosts Cameron Maxwell and Landon Rodriguez. Psy Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show enables our children to talk about whatever topics they want to discuss with peers of their age and with kids experiencing the same challenges they face. Call 470-251-4343 every fourth Tuesday, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time for the Psy Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show to talk about whatever you want to talk about with co-hosts Cameron and Landon. Landon and Cameron. Landon and Cameron and Cameron and Landon, fourth Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, every fourth Tuesday from the Status Network, the future of broadcasting. We broadcast live on Roku, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Periscope, Amazon Prime, and pretty much any other social media outlet you can think of. So don't forget, every fourth Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, children, they always want someone to talk to, and it's very seldom us parents or grandparents. They want to talk about any topic of discussion or challenge that they are facing, but they would love to talk about it with other peers, with other children. So this is a great platform for your child, your niece, your nephew, your grandchildren, any type of child that wants to discuss something. They are here to discuss it with you. But we have a caller on the line, so let's acknowledge our caller first. Caller, thank you so much for calling in. Thank you for your patience. This is a Psy Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show. Please state your name and what city you're calling from.
My name is DeMarco, and I'm in Austin right now, and I just want to say hi to everybody.
Oh, cool. You see
Cameron, to the grandmother.
Aw, and you say your name is Marco? DeMarco? Haven't I met DeMarco?
No, we just talked on the phone.
Okay. Oh, well, I've heard you on the phone. Oh, well, cool. DeMarco, thank you so much for calling in. I know Cameron and Landon really, really appreciate that. Did you have a question for them, or did you want to talk about anything in particular, honey?
I just want to say R.I.P. Kobe and Gianna. Yeah. Everybody misses y'all.
Yeah, oh, that was so nice. Yes, let's pay homage to Kobe Bryant. We really, really appreciate that. And, but you know what, that's a good thing that we could talk about as well, just for a brief moment. We are all going to die one day. So, that's why we want to love each other as much as we can and be kind to each other as much as we can. Always be obedient to your parents, to your grandparents, whatever guardian you have, because again, we don't know when we may be leaving or how. So let's all just cherish each other and have the great memories. But again, yes, we want, and Kobe and his daughter and all the other people that were on that helicopter, we pray that they are in a better place, and that we love them and the lives that they shared with their family members and friends. And we just want to give acknowledgement for their passing, and anyone who has passed recently in someone's family or friend circle. We want to give a love and prayers to anyone that has lost someone, whether they are rich and famous or not, a neighbor in the street, a church member, anyone that has lost someone. You have our sincere prayers. We all believe in God on this panel, so we do believe in heaven and how God is going to open his arms up. And it is cool to believe in God. And so we just want to lift all those family members up in prayer that are grieving the loss of a loved one, from Kobe Bryant to whomever else has lost someone. So DeMarco, thank you so much for saying that. We really, really appreciate that.
I agree to everything you just said.
Aw, thank you. I appreciate that, honey. Well, hopefully you can come on the show with us next time. It's going to be every fourth Tuesday because, again, Landon and Cameron are the co-hosts, but we can always have other children to come in on the studio to be a part of the discussion as well, on the phone and in person. So
Okay, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, great. I would love to have you on here. I know they would as well. Thank you so much for calling. Did you want to say anything else, honey?
No, I'm good.
Okay, now the first topic of discussion that you guys wanted to talk about was challenges and how you deal with them. So did you want to stay on to this one, or you want to hang up and so we can let another caller call in and we can hear that one as well, DeMarco? And you can
I
always...
want to give other people a chance, so...
Okay, and then I'll appreciate that. And then you can call back in as well too, honey, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, DeMarco. Love you, and thank you so much for being the very first caller on the Cy Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show. And today is the debut, January 28th, 2020. Co-host Landon, I'm looking at the wrong side of the camera. Landon, co-host, and Cameron. Thank you so much, DeMarco. Have a good night, honey.
Thanks for calling in,
Thank
DeMarco.
you. You too.
Thank you, honey. Okay, great. So you guys, Cameron, I believe you chose this initial topic, challenges and how you deal with them. So start off that discussion, all right, and just jump right on in there.
Okay. So my first topic is challenges and how we've dealt with them. We've all had our own parts of challenges. Mental, physical, illnesses, any kind of challenges that you've ever had. So my challenge is that when I had a really bad injury on my knee, it wasn't really an injury, it was more like a scrape, but a really bad one, you know. I believe you were there when this happened. I was about 7 or 8 years old. We were in the Bronx, New York. So we left the apartment to the park across the street, which it was in New York, so everything's across the street there.
Right, yeah, everything's close by in New York. Just crammed together.
So we went to the playground, and I met some friends. Well, new friends, because I didn't know them. I was like, hey, what's up? You guys want to play? They were like, yeah, are you fast? I was like, yeah, I'm pretty fast. They were like, okay, we'll see. So we had a race. I came in second place. It was very cool. And I was like, dang, you're fast. We're pretty fast. We run track. I was like, I didn't know I was that fast. So we eventually we were playing tag, I think, or freeze tag, one or the other. And of course, as me, I would just run around a bunch because I was cocky when I was younger. I was really, really cocky because I know I was very fast, but not anymore.
Right.
So, like, you know how on those playgrounds it's like not a cobblestone floor, but it's like a fake cobblestone floor. So, like, when someone's riding on a skateboard or something,
Yes.
when you're riding on a skateboard, it won't have that cobblestone sound where you're just going up and down, like, it's like a smooth, you know? So,
Right.
I was running, and then, like, I had jumped down from something, and I was running my absolute fast. Like, I was running super fast, my fastest, like, because the dude was right behind me. He was like 12, 13 years old. I was like, you're not going to catch up to me. I looked behind him. I was like, you're not going to catch up to me. So I was running my absolute hardest. I was like, man, I got to stand out, you know, because I want attention. So I jumped, and then I fell. I landed on my feet, but that second step, the tip of my toe, the tiny, tiny tip of my toe touched the ground, and everything went downhill from there.
I could imagine. And what I want to explain to you guys, I don't want you to think that I'm not being courteous and looking at my phone and ignoring you. I'm interacting with the people on social media. So I'm commenting to their comments and all of that, and reposting our live feed on Facebook to other pages and groups so they can see that we are also having a live discussion right now. So what did you want to say and talk about, Mr. Landon?
Well, if we're talking about problems, well, mine was also physical as well. So basically, there was this one time I was around 7, 8, around Karen's age. And basically, well, me and my mom, my dad was at work, me and my mom, and my 2 siblings, we were at McDonald's. My mom was working on her computer, doing some stuff. And I was at the playground, little old me, and I wanted to be, you know, the sneaky ninja Superman everybody wants to be. I got on top of a table. There's like this green pillar, and well, around that green pillar has, around the pillar has a green coating or soft thing that goes around it, so like no one gets hurt or anything if someone touches
Right.
it. So I thought I could hang on to it because I was trying to be, Ninja Superman or something like that. And well, what I didn't know was that when I did it, it started going like that, so I had no grip, and so I fell. But not only that, but when I fell, they had like this rock thing that was under the flooring,
Right.
and my wrist landed on that, and then my body landed around as well with it.
Ooh.
So that really hurt.
I bet that was smart.
So I didn't feel anything.
Oh,
Then
good.
I looked at my hand,
Uh-huh.
and well, I bursted into tears. There was also this girl.
Because it
who-
scared you.
Yeah, it really did scare me because it was my first time breaking something actually.
I could
And my only
imagine.
time. But there was this girl who also broke her arm, and she gave me some ice, to
Mm-hmm.
cool it down, to stop pain. So we went to my grandmother's house to drop off my siblings, and I thought I was gonna die. I thought it was done for. I thought it was done for, bro.
I
So,
could
but we went to the
imagine.
doctor. I took some medicine, and well, I was out like that. And well,
Ooh, goodness.
so apparently my mom was able to stay in there, but they were popping my bones back in place. I didn't know that, but that's what my mom described it as. I wake up, it was evening, around 8, 9 p.m. And I have a cast. I asked my mom what happened. She said, they popped your bones back in place, but you're gonna need a cast to provide elevation so it can heal as well. So it's not out there and stuff. So we went there. We went back to the same McDonald's.
Right.
And I got myself a hot fudge sundae. We went back home.
Oh, good. You deserve that treat after that experience.
Yeah. We went there, and well, I just went to sleep, and well, that was it. Also, some extra stuff like when I had to change casts, they basically they had to do this saw thing, and I was so scared because I thought they were gonna cut my hand. 'Cause they were trying to cut open the cast for a new one.
That was scary.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna cut out my hand, but nothing happened. So yeah, that was an experience to know.
I could imagine. Now, well, you handled that pretty well. You really did. We have another caller right quick, and let's see here. And caller, thank you so much for calling in to the Tell Us Children's Talk It Out debut TV show. Please state your name and what city you're calling from.
Hi, Sai. This is Cece calling from New York.
Hi, Cece. She's one of our faithful callers, Landon. She calls in all the time. Thank you so much for calling in. We really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And welcome our new co-hosts, Landon Rodriguez and Cameron Maxwell. They are the co-hosts and hopefully will be the co-hosts every fourth Tuesday henceforth on the Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show if their schedules permit. So welcome them to our show. And what was your question for these gentlemen?
Yes, hi. Hello, Cameron and Landon. It's really cool that you two are doing this segment, this show for kids to call in and talk about, what kids go through. So I just wanted to know, so what grade are you both in?
Seventh.
Seventh.
Seventh? Okay, so you're middle school. Do you all play any or partake in any extracurricular activities? Like, are you in the band? Do you play sports?
We both play the trumpet.
Oh, cool! How did you both become interested in playing the trumpet?
You can
Well,
go first.
As I said, you guys take turns answering,
Okay,
just to be
so,
courteous to each other, because we want
yeah.
both of our co-hosts to have equal time so they can just really enjoy themselves on the show.
So basically,
And we want to look at the camera right there so they can see you.
basically, my uncle, he used to play the trumpet, and I was pretty amazed by it because how it sounded and how a new instrument besides listening to the drums and the piano, because I had a lot of people playing the piano and drums during that time. So I was very interested in the trumpet and how it sounded and how I could make use of it. So yeah. So we just both met. It was 6th grade, and Cam, he had just came into 6th grade in around September, October, around the middle of the school year. And we both played the trumpet and we became friends. We used to sit by each other a lot, and we're friends to this day.
Yeah.
Oh, cool! That's excellent.
That's one half of the origin story. That was my turn.
Yep.
So we both started playing the trumpet. Well, I don't know when he started playing the trumpet. I think his first day at school, maybe. Yeah. So that's when he started playing the trumpet. But me, I was actually in Sandy Springs, a different side of Georgia, and I started playing the trumpet there. And I played the trumpet in a very, very weird way. I would play the trumpet through the side of my mouth like this, because I couldn't get that thing, like
The mouthpiece.
Yeah.
The trumpet mouthpiece.
Yeah, I couldn't do that, so I would always feel like I was playing the flute or something. Everyone would make fun of me, but I made up for it, and I was one of the best trumpet players.
Now, I didn't know this. Landon, you just started playing the trumpet in the 7th grade or in the 6th grade?
6th grade.
Okay, so you both started playing the trumpet in the 6th grade, but you just started playing it at Sandy Springs.
Yeah.
And then during midterm, you started, when we switched over to the other school in Austell, then you were, that's how you guys met, things like that. Now, I see on here also a question that was posed by Cece. Again, that's what I said, you guys. I'm not being rude in being on my cell phone. I see that we're getting a lot of questions posed here for you guys. And one of the questions that Cece had even put on here, she said, how do you guys deal with bullying? How do you deal with bullying? Have you even experienced bullying? So how have you dealt with that, Landon, if you've experienced that?
I think. Well, I was bullied one time, actually, now that I think about it.
Okay.
Well, I think it was back in the 2nd grade, and well, we used to play soccer and stuff, and people would brag that they're better, and really they were, but I didn't really say anything about it. But they just wanted to pick at me because I wasn't as good at soccer as they were, and yeah, I really got bullied and stuff like that. But I got through it, and how I got through it was, I didn't really think of it negatively. I went with a positive act at it. And, well, what I did was I just ignored them.
Right.
And, well, they went off because usually what I've learned is that bullies feed on negativity and their, like,
Very good point.
your anger that you get from it. And if you don't really act negatively to that, then if you just create a positive act, they'll be the ones getting mad, and, you know, you can get through it like that. And so that's how I really dealt with it. I talked to some of my friends, and, well, they helped me out when there was really times that were actually tough. So, yeah, that's how I really got through it. And, well, I just learned to stay calm and think positively. And not to this day, I'm friends with everyone, almost about everyone. So,
I
yeah.
love that. So you turned that negative into a positive. I love that advice. And children, boys and girls, that's something you should also do. Handle that the way that Landon handled that, as far as being bullied is concerned in any type of negativity. Good answer. I like that.
Thank
Listen,
you.
got to give a bell on that one. I like that. I like that. And let's see, I see something else on here that says they also heard that they both play the trumpet, and how did they become interested in playing the trumpet? Okay, we answered that one. We have a lot of people on here watching and waving at you guys. Vincy Monty Lewis was on here. Emmanuel Collier was sending out a wave and a shout. Janetta Swain waved. And I just love to give shout outs to those who take the time out of their busy schedule to watch the Cytella show, and more importantly, humbly so. And I'm so appreciative that all of you guys are tuning in to the Cytella's Children's Talk It Out TV show, debuting today, Tuesday, February 20, excuse me, I keep wanting to say February, January 28th, 2020. So I just want to keep continually giving shout outs to everyone. Carlos Porter, Isaac Pooler, Jessica Finch, Chelsea Perry Jones, again, Cece Mignon, Amanda Graves, Katie Early, Philip Hurley, Jerry Colbert, and some others are on here, but I can't scroll up any further. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Talk It Out children's TV show, again, being broadcast every 4th Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And Cece, did you have any other questions you'd like to pose to the boys?
Well, yes, I wanted to hear Cameron. I don't know if he answered the question how he deals with bullies, or if
Okay.
he's ever encountered bullies.
Okay, and how do you deal with bullying, Cameron? Make sure y'all's mics are up so they can hear. Make sure yes.
I wouldn't really call it bullying, but it was teasing on a different level. But it didn't stretch far enough to bullying. Because, well, you know how, like, when you're ragging on somebody and you're like, boy, you're so ugly, that ... and all that stuff. So I guess he was doing that, and I didn't know what it was, because I was like, because I don't really know what to call it. I just didn't know what it was, because actually, I don't know. And he was just teasing me, and I was like, can you just stop? I don't appreciate that.
Right.
He was like, I'm just teasing with you. I was like, I get it, but I don't like it.
And what was he doing literally to tease you, though? I'm curious. What was he literally doing to tease you?
Just calling me names.
Just calling you names? Okay. And were you in front of other children, or was this one-on-one? How did it go?
No, it was in front of people.
Okay.
It wasn't like he would go up in the class and be like, unless so-and-so, because ... and all that stuff. And then everyone just laughs at me. No, that didn't happen.
Okay.
Like in the movies. That didn't happen.
Okay.
But I settled it by telling an authority, which all bullying articles say, and I followed that rule. And all in all, it turned out pretty good. I didn't get bullied again. And surprisingly, as they say, the best way to to stop a bully is to make them their friend. And surprisingly, that happened.
Like Landon said, just be positive.
Well,
Same things.
Thank you so much for sharing your stories, guys. And,
Very good.
And keep up the great work with the trumpet as well.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
Yes, we're going to have them play some tune for us one day. That would be nice if we can get some type of duet going. We'll have to see about that. Thank you so much, Cece, for those great questions that you posed to the boys. We really appreciate that. And guys, what else did you want to talk about? Do you want me to help pose some questions for you?
Actually, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Are you guys, and of course I kind of know this answer for Cameron, but are you guys tidy and neat, or do you have to be reminded over and over and over and over and over and over again to clean your room and to do the dishes? Or do you appease your parents, meaning you try and do things so your parents won't have to ask you in advance? That's the way I did. I appeased my mom. So, but let's save that and see what else someone else is saying right quick. Thank you for calling the Talk It Outside Tell Us Children TV show. Please state your name and what city you're calling from, please.
Hello, hi. My name is Savannah. I'm calling from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, hi, Savannah. Thank you so much for calling. We really appreciate you for calling in. We have our co-hosts today here, Cameron and Landon. Oops, my phone fell. Things happen. Cameron and Landon, they are the co-hosts for the Side Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show. Today is the debut for that show. And please, what question did you have for the gentlemen today, for the boys?
Okay, so, well, I'm an educator in Cincinnati, Ohio area. And so I work with primarily grade school, but when I work with sixth graders, sometimes it seems as if they can be more followers than leaders. And so I'm trying to see what's an effective way I can get the young people to understand that it's okay to stand out, it's okay to be a leader. So I just want to see from their point of view, do you all think that a sixth grader can be a leader, or do you think majority of that age group are followers? So what can I do to try to encourage the young people to stand down and be an individual and not necessarily follow the crowd, especially if it's a negative crowd?
I like that. Did you guys understand that question?
Yeah.
She's saying at children being such a young age, can they be a leader or a follower?
It can be either one.
Okay, Linda, I am having the hardest time with this phone thing.
I think it's because it needs to stick to the...
Yeah, okay, so go ahead, answer the question while I maneuver this.
Okay. Well, any student can be a leader or a follower, if you think about it. Any student, it's really just their choice. But I would encourage students to be a leader and a follower. And I mean just the leader. Because, well, following the crowd, usually, depending on which crowd it is, there's a lot, and I'm not trying to stand and say anything, but there's a lot of things that, there's a lot of negative crowds out there. And, well, those negative crowds, you don't really want children to go to those. So I feel like most students should be encouraged to be a leader, and should be encouraged to be a leader, and well, find their own way, and maybe they can make their own group in a positive group instead of a negative one.
Good answer.
Thank you.
I love that. I love that. Cameron, how did you want to answer that? Scoot up, honey, so they can hear you.
You can be a leader in many ways. Can you restate the question, please?
He said, can you restate the question, please?
I kind of got wrapped into him talking.
Just pretty much, what do you think as I'm an educator, and what do you think would be a good way that I can encourage my sixth graders to be a leader, to be an individual, to let them know that it's okay, that you don't have to think like everybody else. It's okay to think outside the box.
It's okay to be a leader and not follow the crowd, and I'm sure she's meaning especially more so when that crowd is wrong. It's okay to stand out and walk against your own tune, especially if you know you're doing the right thing.
So it was so a way to get a student to, or a sixth grader in general, to be a leader. I think me and Landon have both experienced this in a class. A teacher has one time the whole entire class period taught us why not to be a follower, because sometimes if you go into the wrong crowd, you can get wrapped up in their kind of life, and then you can mess up your own life trying to be a part of their life. So sometimes you have to be do something for yourself,
right,
and not for others. You know, because following what other people do, what they do might not be as good for you.
That's
like
true.
like getting C's. Some parents are okay with that. But my parents, no, not even close.
Well,
If I get a low B, that's...
and let me emphasize why, because I am Cameron's grandmother and I am raising him. He has lived with me pretty much 80% of his life since he was born. I expect him to make A's and B's because I know he has the ability to make A's and B's. Now, if he were someone that I know that was not as academically inclined and getting a high C or low C was the best he could do, then in essence, I would appreciate that A as well. What grades do your parents expect you to get?
Same for like your expectations.
Yes.
Because I've been in a fair share of accelerated classes.
Oh,
not to brag.
No. It's okay to pat ourselves on the back, especially academically, when you know you're doing well and you're working very hard for those grades. It's okay, especially when someone asks, to give yourself kudos, because you deserve that praise. You really do. You worked hard for that.
I've been in a fair share of accelerated classes. So, my parents. My parents expect me to get like A's, of course, and B's. And when I get a B, they really want me to bring that up to an A at the end of the school year because, they know I have the potential and the ability to bring any grade up to an A. Like, I think every kid has the ability and the potential to do that. They just have to put in the hard work and effort. Because if you think about it, the more hard work and effort that you put in, the way better the benefit will be in like your when you like graduate college. You'll have a good paying job, you'll have a good family, a good home, and it'll be all beneficial, and you'll be happy with what you have.
That's right.
So my parents expect me to get A's and B's, and those B's will rise up to an A.
Amen. And again, we only expect that out of you guys because we know you have the potential and the ability to make those A's. Now, again, if we knew that you guys were only C or D students, we would still hope you get a better grade, but we wouldn't be as indirectly demanding. Because again, a parent knows their child. They know what they can do. So when your parents expect you to make A's and B's, it's because they really expect you to do that. Now, I see Cece has posed a question on here. She said, what do you two like to do for fun? Because this generation is really into electronics, computers, games, and cell phones. Do you two like to play outside or are also on board games?
Cam, this is your question.
Or play board games?
Well, last year, we used to go in gym a lot. Like, we had gym every single day. Well, because it was connection. Of course we did. And we had gym, and we would always do a lot, and I mean a lot of exercising. Because, try to get that exercise in. It's just very fun to exercise.
You've got to scoot up a little.
And we were playing basketball and all that stuff. Of course, we'd always win because I'm not that good at basketball. Not gonna lie.
Okay.
But honestly, we do play on electronics a lot. we have a competition in a certain game.
Oh, really? What type of game do you guys have a competition going on? What's the game called?
Geometry Dash.
Yeah.
It's called what?
Geometry Dash.
Geometry
basically
Dash.
where-
Is that a math game?
No.
Okay.
It's,
Okay.
I would show you on my phone, but like.
When you think about it, it kind of sort of is like timing stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to.
Wait, and let me just stop right here because I see that Jessica Rodriguez is watching, and that's your mom. So we just want to give a shout out to Miss Rodriguez, Jessica.
Hey,
thank you
Mom.
so much. See, he said hi, Mom, and thank you so much for allowing Landon to be the co-host on the Sci Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show. Hello, Jessica Rodriguez. Okay, continue.
I know I got sidetracked.
That's okay.
But yeah.
We were talking about the geometry
yeah.
game. Okay.
It's called Geometry Dash. It's basically where you're like a square,
Uh-huh.
and you're trying to get through obstacles to reach the end of the game.
Okay.
That's practically the main purpose of the game. The main purpose of the game. It's kind of like Mario. You have different levels, and you get all the way to the end of the game. And when you get to the end of the game, something happens, but we don't know what happens because we haven't beat the whole game. It's a very hard game. And we've had a lot of challenges, competitions between each other. I'm not going to get into details. For
Okay.
certain
Okay.
reasons.
Okay. Now, also, what I wanted to ask: do you guys like school?
Yeah.
School.
Yes.
Um,
Do you like going to school? Do you like the classes
It's like,
you
oh,
take?
yeah, wait.
And then, if you do, tell me what you like the most about it, and tell me what you like the least about it.
Okay.
I want to hear from Landon.
school.
Mm-hmm.
It has its ups and downs.
Okay. Okay.
It can be sideways sometimes, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the most things that I really like about school is the friends that I can see. Like, let's see, one of my friends, Malachi. I don't know where he lives, but at least I get to see him at school. And Cam, I don't know where he lives, but maybe we'll have something in the future.
Right, you
see
will.
each other. But anyways, we have lots of classes together, and it's fun to be around each other and you know play around sometimes. You know, we have a fair share of classes. But yeah, I really like, and lots of my teachers are very nice and positive. Like one of my teachers, Miss Hairston. Miss Hairston, she's very funny.
Okay.
And well, she helps me to think positive, and you know, help me to get good grades and
Right.
help me on math because I'm planning on being an electrical engineer. So well, I'm
Excellent profession.
planning. I need that maths in
Yeah.
my life for that electrical engineer.
Yes.
But I guess the things I hate about school, and hate's a strong word, but there are some things that I really dislike.
Right. That's what I was going to change that to say dislike.
Well, there are a lot of people that influence badly, and I think some people really need like to change and stuff, and like
Yes.
there's lots of fights, but it's actually been toning down. That's good.
Oh, good, good.
And
I'm glad to hear
people
that.
are taking more consideration into keeping the building clean.
Oh, good, 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 good. That's always a positive.
But
to
there's
not litter.
But there's also people that really don't care about the building. But that's my professions, or not professions, but that's my saying about
Right.
the school.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Okay, and Cameron, what do you like most about school, and least? What do you like least about school?
I have two favorite parts about school.
Okay.
My first favorite part is friends, because you don't get to see friends when you go home.
Right.
You only get to hang out with friends at school unless you guys have a sleepover. Yeah.
And you have a sleepover.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's it. Unless you guys have to either live together or have a lot of sleepovers to hang out besides school.
Okay.
Because school is one way to.
Interact.
Yeah, it's a very interactive.
I love
thing
your
to do.
vocabulary.
Thank you.
See what I mean? Sometimes when I tell you, I say I think your vocabulary should be a little bit more extensive, mature. He's an example of what I'm wanting to get you to understand verbally and to how to converse on a much more mature level. So you're keeping friends with Landon and just start emulating some of his vocabulary, please. But that's the point. I'm not trying to make it a negative, but again, it is okay to point out, because again, of course, as parents, we always want to point out the bad, but I want to also point out the good. And this is what I'm talking about. His vocabulary is much more extensive than the average 7th grader. But this is what I'm talking about, okay? So kudos to Landon. Are we going to start speaking some more complex terminology, which will make people think you're older than your years and much more mature, and more intellectual, because again, that's all the positive. So that's what I was, and this is a great example, because again, I don't want to converse with you a lot on my level, but this is what I'm talking about, you know. So that's what my mom meant. So what you said you liked most about school was what again? Because you started talking about spending the night. What did you say you liked most about school?
Friends.
Friends. And what do you like least?
Friends and math.
Oh, so friends and math. Okay,
yeah,
I'm sorry, I
want
didn't
to
hear
be a
that part.
construction worker, and geometry is a very, very large part in construction because you have like a blueprint.
So you want to be like an architect?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool beans. Okay. And what do you like least about school?
Honestly, some of the teachers. Because sometimes the teachers are very unfair.
Oh, goodness.
Like
Well, like I've told you, you've got to bring that to my attention. And when something happens that day, you need to let me know about it that day, not months later. You need to let me know about it that day so I can go up to the school, or I can have a conversation on the phone with that educator, because they may not be aware that they're being unfair. You know, surely, hopefully, they don't think they're being unfair.
Yeah.
You know, purposely so. And let's see here. And then also, Cece put on here, she said, to piggyback on Savannah, what do you guys think about peer pressure?
That's a good topic.
And I want to say hi to Norisi Power and Destiny Phillips joined. Hi, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Joyce Malcolm from New York. I know Destiny Phillips is in Oklahoma. And Jessica Rodriguez is right here in Austell, Georgia. Carlos Porter, he's here in Atlanta. Amanda Graves is in Philadelphia. Isaac Pooler, he was in New York. So we have a lot of people nationwide watching this show, you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're really appreciative of that. But back to that question, what do you guys think about peer pressure? And CC Maxwell, of course, is in New York. What do you guys think about peer pressure?
Okay, well, my thing on peer pressure, well, peer pressure is, well, it's really hard to describe because there's many ways peer pressure is really out there, because you have to say people wanting you to smoke cigarettes, or your friends wanting you to drink alcohol or marijuana or smoke or something.
Right.
And well, peer pressure is really hard sometimes because that's your friends, but you don't want to let them down, but you don't want to do the wrong thing either.
Exactly.
And well, peer pressure is, you know, it's a very hard thing to deal with, but I would just deal with it like, if you at least say no, they would still be your friends if they're real friends.
That's
and
true.
if you really think about it,
so true.
if they leave you because you didn't do a wrong thing, like smoking a cigarette, if you didn't do that, they're not real friends. If they, number one, try to make you do it, and number two, if they're not your friends because you didn't do it. So that's just my thing on peer pressure.
And Cameron, what do you feel about peer pressure?
I can't even say it. Peer pressure.
That is a tongue twister.
Yeah, it is. Try to say that 5 times fast. Peer pressure is, like Landon said, it's kind of hard to describe because there's lots of ways, lots of forms of peer pressure. Like someone trying to have you join what they're doing, like as he said, smoking cigarettes or something like that. And you know, just students are like expecting you to do something, and then you're like, geez, what do I do? Do I do the right thing, or do I let everyone down trying to do the right thing, but only for myself? It's like back to what we said, being a follower, a leader. We got to be a leader and do what we need to do.
Exactly. Good answer. Gosh, you guys are giving great answers, and I can tell that they're genuine answers, are from the heart. But I love the way you guys are talking extemporaneously. Extemporaneously means to speak off the top of your head and not reading a script.
That's a new vocabulary.
Well, extemporaneous is, again, speaking off the top of your head. Savannah, I really appreciate you for being on the phone. Do any of your children have any questions they'd like to ask the boys here on this panel?
Actually, I'm not with any of the students or anyone right now.
Okay.
But pretty much, I do interact with the youth on a daily basis.
Oh, excellent.
And so one other thing I wanted to ask about is, how do we as educators, or how do you think if you have your teacher, and you may be having a bad day, do you think a lot of teachers are sympathetic, or they understand that you as a student, even though you're not an adult, that you still have different pressures or anxiety, fears, or things that you deal with? Do you think a lot of your teachers are understanding to maybe you just having a bad day and your past experiences?
How do you feel about
You want
that?
me to go first?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Either way, that's fine.
Yeah, definitely.
When you're having a
Sit up,
like
honey. You
what-
keep scooting back.
I like to do that.
But if you can't be heard.
And just to piggyback on that really quickly, I had an incident today where I was talking to a student. This was actually a third grader, and she said she couldn't focus on her work, and she was telling me about different things that was going on at home, but yet I still wanted her to do her work. And so she felt that some other teachers didn't care
Bummer.
about the things that she was going through at home or how she felt. So that's what prompted me to ask the question to you all. Do you all feel that your teachers care about your feelings, your overall person, not just your grades?
Right, that's
Do
a
they
good
care
question.
about you as a person?
So do you think the teacher honestly cares about you and your well-being and what mood you're in, whether you're happy or sad, or they're just there to make sure you guys get the lesson and that's it?
Some
What do you think about
teachers, a lot of, actually not some teachers, a lot of teachers, like I don't know why, but I'm just going off of what I've seen in movies. I don't know if it's real or not. But in a lot of movies, in high school and college, the teachers don't really care about what's going on everywhere else. They just care about if you make good grades and how you progress into the future. But when you're younger, a lot of the time, the teachers will care because as some, well, it depends on what kind of, it depends on what the student is like. Because if the student is like a good student,
Right.
then the teacher will have like a mutual bond between the student, teacher and the student, and they'll have a good connection. And when the student goes on to the next grade, the teacher's like, I'm really gonna miss that kid.
Exactly, because they were well-mannered,
Yeah, 'cause
they
you-
were studious and respectful, they weren't problematic in the classroom. Again, you want, as a child and even as an adult, you want to be someone that others want to enjoy being around and someone that they would love to see coming, not to say, oh God, here comes Billy, he's always a nightmare. You don't want to be categorized as that, and I know you guys aren't. So again, always be obedient in the classroom, always be respectful to others. Ignore if people give you negative words, where they're, bullying you or whatever. You want to just try and ignore that, because as they say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And again, as you guys both said, when you are dealt with negative situations, you try and turn it around into a positive situation.
We did
So
have
keep doing that.
We did have a lesson in school a whole entire day about, they said the word, they had us write an essay. I don't know what class it was in, but they said, do you believe in the term, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me? And most of the class said no, because a lot of the times, a student might be going through something, and the teacher says something, or another student says something, and that might or might not be the thing that triggers them into doing something. So if you say something and it makes them feel a certain way, they might react to that in a right or wrong way.
And what I want to ask too, and what do you feel about that, Landon? For the simple fact, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. But it seems today that kids are much more negatively physical. As you said, they have some fights at school, but they're diminishing somewhat. So to me, with that adage and that of sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me, don't a lot of fights start because of what someone has said?
Yes.
Definitely.
I mean, people don't just walk up to each other and push anyone for some reason. They start saying things negatively. Then the fight breaks out. Is that what you've experienced? Or what's your take on that?
A lot of times, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
People just say stuff, and that's really how fights break out.
See?
Usually,
That's what I
that's
kinda
all I
thought.
know of when the fights break out. They usually, someone says something like this one incident. Someone said something about their hair or how they look, and then the other person was talking back, and they were just talking smack about each other. And then the next day, what do you know? A fight breaks out, and it's because it was the two same people and about what happened and them talking smack about each other. And lots of fights break out because of that.
Right.
And well,
Okay.
people just have to put a better attitude to that than just breaking out fights because someone said something.
Okay, and then as Savannah had said, do you think that teachers do care about the children as a whole, or are they just more concerned about their academic success?
Kind of, sort of.
I'd say half and half because some teachers, are just straight up rude and only care about the academics. But a lot of my teachers that I go to do care about most of the students.
Because you have good behavior and they really like it.
Like
Right.
Miss Hairston's class. Miss Hairston's, we're very well behaved.
Oh, good.
And I think it's because we all have good discipline. And
Very important.
there was this one time where, I think it was yesterday actually, we had to write 20 sentences because we came in the building unexpectedly loud, because we're never loud. We're actually a very good class, Miss Hairston's, and she expects us to have a good attitude and be disciplined as
Right.
she wants us to be. Because
Her expectation.
yeah, expectations, like Cam said just now. She wants us to have good expectations and be well disciplined. And
Right.
well, I get her on that because I think everybody wants to be treated right. If you've heard the catchphrase, what's it called? Treat others how you want to be treated. So yeah. But she got pretty mad at us when lots of us were coming in loud and just unexpectedly loud. Like we didn't have no sense.
She has a certain expectation, and when you when you go lower than the expectation,
She'll get at you.
yeah.
So that's a teacher that actually cares about you because she's looking out for your
Right.
discipline and
Exactly.
your expectations. And I think she's going to be one of those teachers that puts you at high standards, and that's going to put you in a better position when you get into life.
That's
and I
right.
like
That's
those type of teachers.
And you want those type of adults in your life. And again, when someone expects better things out of you, that's because they truly care
Yeah.
and they know you can accomplish those tasks. And they expect great things out of you. And did you have any other comments, Savannah? Especially with you being an educator in a sector like that, what do you, what advice can you give our children on the show today before we wrap this up, as far as just any advice that you'd like to give these two boys and any other children that are tuned in? What advice would you give them?
So I definitely think that you two young men are very intelligent, extremely
Yes.
intelligent.
They are.
Very respectful, and it's delightful just to speak with you
Yes.
today that just thinks about their future,
Amen.
progressive in their thinking, and it's not so self-centered. So I would definitely encourage you to always remain respectful as you move forward. Never be selfish. Always think of other ways you can help someone else. It's never too early to start networking. And so networking
Yes.
when you connect with people that's probably in the field that you want to go into, are interested in different things. Like now, like you have different teachers who have different backgrounds. Start using those networks now.
Yes.
Even though you may be too young to gain employment, to have a job, but maybe you can always ask now if you can go and shadow and volunteer.
Exactly.
And start making connections now. That'd be the biggest thing I can tell you. And definitely always make sure you keep your grades up, because once you have the grades, that's good. But networking is key.
Yes, it
Networking
is.
is very key. And people, meeting the right people and opening doors and doing things like you're doing today, never being afraid to taking advantage of an opportunity. A lot of children I work with, they're too afraid or
So
too
true.
shy. They think it may not look cool, don't want to step outside the box.
That's
But
true.
what can set you aside is being, of course, being respectful, mannerable, having proper etiquette, but reaching out to someone of your age. If you reach out to someone that's in the field, they will be delighted.
Yes, they really
to
would.
teach you something. So
They
I would
really
definitely,
would.
If nothing else, remember to start now.
Networking.
Network.
And you know what? And I've told Cameron this before, and let me admit it to you, Landon, as well. I truly love their friendship because they're both two good Christian boys, and they're nice and they're kind. They're pleasant to be around, so very respectful. And I was telling him, I know over the past few months, I said, I really hope and pray that you and Landon are friends forever. I said, because I like the way you guys treat each other. I love the fun that they have. They're always having good, clean fun. So that, in essence, is to maintain that friendship and network. So thank you so much for that advice, Savannah. We really appreciate that. We're getting ready to close out the show. Be sure and tell all of your young friends, your young children, your young neighbors' children, to have them call in every fourth Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, to the Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show at 9 p.m. Eastern, to call 470-251-4343. I want to thank my co-hosts so much, Landon Rodriguez, Cameron Maxwell, friends, they're peers, they're in the band together, they talk on the phone pretty much from sun up to sundown, but this good, clean conversation. So I thank God for that. And again, these are two well-rounded, lovely, lovely boys. And I just pray that all the children are just as positive and memorable as they are, and have all your friends and young friends call in and watch the show so we can expand this show and have other children come into the studio and have further discussion so the children can basically run this segment on the fourth Tuesday. But we're getting ready to let it go for now, and we're going to let you know that we're going to be good to you, and we're going to close it out with our song. So don't forget to watch Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show, 4th Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Thank you. God bless. Peace.